I wanted to share with you 3 of the biggest LSAT prep test mistakes that I typically see students making. And the reason it's so important to think about the best ways to take your LSAT prep tests under timed conditions when you're trying to simulate test day is that if you don't, then your scores will be artificially inflated and you'll be in for a rude awakening when you get your score back after LSAT test day. Because taking it in LSAT in the privacy of your own home is not nearly the same thing as taking it under timed conditions when it's the real thing and you have the proctors to deal with. So here are the 3 biggest mistakes I see students make, and they all kind of come down to the same thing, which is, again, not properly simulating the actual LSAT. The first mistake is with timing. Are you strictly timing yourself to the 35-minute mark, not a second over? Are you also bubbling within that 35-minute period? Are you making sure that you do the 35 minutes straight through, that you don't take a break to check your phone or go to the bathroom or get a glass of water? Everything you do is on the clock. If you vary from that even slightly, you're making a huge mistake, because then you won't be prepared for the strict conditions of the actual official LSAT test day. So that's mistake 1. Mistake 2 is not including a 5th section, not properly simulating the length of the exam. The published prep tests that you'll get in your books only typically have 4 sections, and that's because those were the 4 scored sections. But on LSAT test day, you'll be doing 5 sections because LSAT wants to include the experimental in order to test out questions both individually and as a whole for future official LSATs. So you're their guinea pigs whether you like it or not, and you've got to simulate that for your practice tests. So what I recommend doing is splicing up or dividing one official LSAT into 4 parts, and then inserting each of those 4 parts into 4 timed sittings. So for example, you could take LSAT 86, divide it into 4 parts, and then insert each of those 4 parts for LSATs 82, 83, 84, and 85. Then later, you can tally up your results for those individual sections of LSAT 86, and then see what you might have gotten on 86 had you taken it as a standalone individual timed exam. So mistake number 2, again, not including a 5th section. Finally, mistake number 3 is not properly simulating test day conditions as a whole. And that means 3 timed sections back to back, then give yourself a 10-minute break or so, and then the following 2 sections again back to back. And that means, again, you're not taking a longer break, you're not taking a half hour, you're not having lunch in between, and ideally, you're even trying to take the LSAT at the same time you'll be taking the official one. So most likely that'll be at around 9 in the morning or so. If you're taking it in June, it might be at 1 p.m. But either way, you are properly sitting down for the full 5-section experience. You're not taking breaks in between sections. You're not scoring section by section and checking your answers after each one. You're doing it straight through. It'll take you most likely around 3.5 hours or so, but that's the real thing. That's what it looks like, and that's how you practice your pacing and endurance. So if you do all of these things, you'll be maximizing your chances of having a real accurate result on your practice tests, and then you'll know what you're likely to get on the day of the exam itself. So those are the 3 biggest mistakes. I wish you all the best as you prepare for your actual LSAT, and that you avoid doing all of these mistakes and more. If you'd like further advice on prepping for test day, I'll include a link below this video. If you'd like to find out more, all the best to you and take care.